Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, Verse 19. Sayeşatmatmavatamadişvaras Trayīmayo dharmamayastapomaya Gatavyalikairajashankaradibir Vitarkyalingo Bhagavan Prasidatham Sa esha atmatmavatamадишварас Trayīmayo dharmamayastapomaya Gatavyalikairajashankaradibir Vitarkyalingo Bhagavan Prasidatham Esha atmatmavatamадишварас Trayīmayo dharmamayastapomaya Gatavyalikairajashankaradibir Vitarkyalingo Bhagavan Prasidatham Please recite. Saesha atmatmavatamадишварас Trayīmayo dharmamayastapomaya Gatavyalikairajashankaradibir Vitarkyalingo Bhagavan Prasidatham
Saesha atmavatamадишварас
Saesha atmatmavatamадишварас
Trayīmayo dharmamayastapomaya
Trayīmayo dharmamayastapomaya
Gatavyalikairajashankradadibir
Gatavyalikairajashankaradibir
Vitarkyalingo Bhagavan Prasidatam
Vitarkyalingo Bhagavan Prasidatham. Translation. Purport by Student Grace Abhay Charnarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Synonyms. Sa, he. Esha, it is.
Yesha
Atma, the super soul. Atmavatham, of the self-realized souls. Adishvara, the Supreme Lord. Trayīmaya, personified Vedas. Dharmamaya, personified religious scripture. Tapamaya, personified austerity. Gatavyalikaih, by those who are above all pretensions.
By those who are above all pretensions.
Aja Brahmaji,
Aja Brahmaji
Shankaradibi by Lord Shiva and others.
Shankaradi by Lord Shiva and others.
Vitarkyalinga, one who is observed with awe and veneration.
Vitarkyalinga,
The one who is observed with awe and veneration.
Bhagavan, the personality of God.
Bhagavan, the personal
Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead.
Prasidatam, be kind toward me.
Prasidatam,
Prasidatam, to be kind toward me.
Translation, please repeat after me. He is the super soul and the supreme lord of all self-realized souls.
He is the super soul and the supreme lord of all self-realized souls.
He is the personification of the Vedas,
He is the personifications of the Vedas,
religious scriptures, and austerities.
religious scriptures.
Religious scriptures and austerities.
He is worshipped by Lord Brahma and Shiva,
He is worshipped by Lord Brahma
and all those who are transcendental to all pretensions.
And
and
all
all those who are transcendental
transcendental
to
to all
all
pretensions and all pretensions.
Being so revered with awe and veneration,
Being
being
so
so revered with
being
awe
so
and
revered with awe
veneration.
and veneration.
may that Supreme Absolute be pleased with me.
may that supreme
May that supreme absolute
May
be
that
pleased
supreme
with me.
absolute be pleased with me.
Purport.
The Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, although the Lord of all followers of different paths of self-realization, is knowable only by those who are above all pretensions. Everyone is searching for eternal peace or eternal life, and with an aim to these destinations, everyone is either studying the Vedic scriptures or other religious scriptures, on undergoing severe austerity as empiric philosophers, as mystic yogis, or as unalloyed devotee, etc. But the Supreme Lord is perfectly realized only by the devotees, because they are above all pretensions. Those who are on the path of self-realizations are generally classified as uh, karmis, gyanis, yogis, or devotees of the Lord. The karmis, who are much attracted by the fruitive activities of the Vedic rituals, are called bhak- kami, or those who desire material enjoyments. The Gyanis, who tries to become one with the Supreme by mental speculations, are
Muktikami.
called yogis who practice
No, Muktikami.
different types of austerities for the mystic yogis who practice different types of austerities for attainment of 8 kinds of material perfections, and who ultimately meet the super souls, Paramatma, in trance, are called Siddhikami, or those who desire the perfections of becoming finer than the finest, becoming heavier than the heaviest, getting everything desired, having control over everyone, creating everything liked, etc. All these are abilities of a powerful yogi. But the devotees of the Lord do not want anything like that for self-satisfactions. They want only to serve the Lord, because the Lord is great and living entities. They are eternally subordinate parts and parcel of the Lord. This perfect realization of the self by the devotees help him to become desireless, to desire nothing for his personal self, and thus the devotee are called nishkami, without any desire. A living entity by his constitutional positions cannot be void of all desires. The Bhaktikami, Muktikami, and Siddhikami all desire something for personal satisfaction. But the Nishkami devotee of the Lord desire everything for the satisfactions of the Lord. They are completely dependent on the orders of the Lord and are always ready to discharge their duties for the satisfaction of the Lord. In the beginning, Arjuna placed himself as one of those who desired self-satisfaction, for he desired not to fight in the battle Kurukshetra. But to make him desireless, the Lord preached the Bhagavad Gita, in which the ways of karma yoga, jnana yoga, Hatha Yoga, and also Bhakti Yoga were explained. Because Arjuna was without any pretensions, he changed his decisions and satisfied the Lord by agreeing to fight. Karyashe Vachanam Tava, and thus he became desireless. The example of Brahma and Lord Shiva are specifically cited here because Brahmaji, Lord Shiva, Srimati Lakshmi ji, and the four Kumaras, uh, Sh- Shanaka and Sanatana, etc., are leaders of the four desireless Vaishnava Sampradayas. They are all freed from all pretensions. Srila Jiva Goswami interprets the word Gata Vyalikha as Projhita Kevataha are those who are freed from all pretensions, the unalloyed devotees only. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ata Eva Santa Bhakta Mukti Siddhi Kame Shakali Ashanta. Those who are after fruitative result for their pious activities, those who desire salvations and identity with the Supremes, and those who desire material perfections of mystic power are all restless because they want something for themselves. But the devotee is completely peaceful because he has no demand for himself and is always ready to serve the desire of the Lord. The conclusion is therefore that the Lord is for everyone because no one can achieve the result of his respective desires without his sanction. But as stated by Lord in Bhagavad Gita 8.9, all such results are awarded by him only for the Lord is Adishwara, the original controller of everyone, namely the Vedantis and the great karma kandyas, the great religious leaders, and the great performers of austerity, and all who are striving for spiritual advancement. But ultimately, he is realized by the pretensionless devotees only. Therefore, special stress is given to the devotional service of Lord by Srila Shukadev Goswami.
Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Mugam Karodi Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Mande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataga Swami Niti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitaya Kripa Pradayine Gaura Kata Damadaya Nagara Grama Tarine Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Tesatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. As Prabhu is engaged in some activity, he has asked me to take the class with kindness. So I will continue with this. Jai Guru Maharaj ki, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Ananta Kodi Vaishnav Vrind ki, Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Gol Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. He is the super soul and the supreme lord of all self-realized souls. He is the personification of the Vedas, religious scriptures and austerities. He is worshipped by Lord Brahma and Shiva and all those who are transcendental to all pretensions. Being so revered with all veneration, may that supreme absolute be pleased with me. Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai, Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. So here, very, very amazing purport by Srila Prabhupada and prayer by Sukadeva Goswami. Now Sukadeva Goswami is questioned by Parikshit Maharaj about the creation, how all the universes came about and how all the planets came about, how the sun and the moon and the stars are going on, and we can see the all the seasons are coming properly, and the creation itself is a big wonder. So there are many mental speculative scientists and philosophers who give their own theory about creation. But here we can see the most intelligent Sukadeva Goswami is taking shelter of the person who actually created everything. So who's the authority for anything? If you see, there are many methodologies in which you can find out. For example, you are eating a very nice gulab jamun and you would like to know what is the ingredient and how it is made. So you can speculate also. It's very spongy. So maybe it is a ball of, it's a ping pong ball, or a tennis ball, or maybe it's very soft, maybe it's cotton. And it is dipped in honey. Maybe it's very sweet liquid is there. So in this way, we can speculate. So this is called mental speculation of finding about a thing which is created already. Like when we entered into this world from the womb of the mother, already everything was there. Sun, moon, stars in the sky, everything was existing. Planetary systems were existing. Trees, and we can see whatever the roads and houses, and it was raining. Rainy season was there, and then winter came, then the summer came, then the spring came. All this were completely rotating again and again, and the system is going on already. So this is bewildered. When we come, we are bewildered. So the mental speculation, or maybe it may be like that man came from maybe monkeys, maybe there was a big bang. So this is also assumption. So the learning process, the knowledge which we get from the world can be done in many methodologies. So they are mentioned in Sanskrit as there are like assumption, mental speculation, research. These are various methods, and the best is considered to be receiving from the authority. If I am eating a gulab jamun, I go to a person who created that gulab jamun and I asked him, how did you make it? Can you give me the recipe? This is considered an authorized methodology of getting the knowledge, rather than either speculating or guesswork or researching. If I open a gulab jamun, I bifurcate it. And I find out, okay, how many potassium, calcium, and mineral this content is there, how many vitamin is there, and how do I recreate it by that information? It's impossible to recreate it by that information. Neither it is possible to recreate it, nor it is possible to get the right knowledge. So the knowledge acquirement should not be from down to up, but rather up to down. This is called Aroga Pantha and Avaroga Pantha. Aroga Pantha means from the existing material world and material senses, I am trying to understand everything with my imperfect senses solution. With this, I am trying to understand what is the size of the sun. So when my imperfect sense, when I look at the sun, it is an 8-inch disc. I cannot see more than that, and I can declare it to be an 8-inch disc because that is what I perceive. So everything cannot be understood by perception, sense perception. So this is aroga, means from down below, or ascending and descending process. The same aroga and avaroga. Aroga means down to up. So it can be called as ascending in English. And when we come from descending process, from up to down. So when we receive the knowledge from the topmost authority down, when it is coming, the knowledge is perfect. But when we try from a lower perception, when we try to understand a higher perception, then it is impossible to get the knowledge correctly. So here Sukadeva Goswami is trying to answer a question which is given by Parikshit Maharaj. Even though Sukadeva Goswami has heard properly from a spiritual master and he is received from authority, he is still praying to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he is the creator, that he should be pleased with me. In that case, I can reveal as it is. I'm not here to give a duplicitous answer. Sometimes when we are in school and college, we ask some question to the teachers, and if they don't know the answer, there are many methods with which they tackle it. Either they get angry, or some of them may be genuine. They may say that I'll find out and get back to you. That is very rare. When we go to corporate, maybe we can come across some personalities like that because they are earning and they are genuine. But otherwise, those who are very fearful about their job, or to maintain their false pretentious position, they may give some wrong answer, or they may crack a joke and close the topic, or they may threaten us by saying that you're asking too many questions, shut your mouth, keep the finger on your mouth. From very first standard, when you go to LKG classes, they say, please keep the finger on the mouth, not please. It's like shouting. So this keeping the finger on the mouth will not, but only in Krishna consciousness. In Bhagavad Gita, if you see, it's all question answer session. And if you see Bhagavatam, it's all question answer session. And even after every lecture in ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada has set the standard that, is there any questions? So this question answering is very, very, very essential. And Prabhupada stresses this attitude of question and answering without a challenging attitude, genuine interest in knowing the subject properly from the authority. Whoever is taking class is considered an authority. We respect them, we hear from them, and that has to be answered. So that is encouraged here, and that answer should come from the authoritative sources. That is why we quote the scriptures. We quote the scriptures as evidence. We quote Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So we quote Prabhupada. So Shastra we quote from the books, we quote from Prabhupada and Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So other authorities like Vyasadeva, we quote other authorities like Vilvamangal Thakur. We quote authorities in giving evidence like Narada Muni, how he became devotee. We quote from the life of sadhus who may not be sometime from our disciplic succession, but they are considered as great authorities of devotional service. So here Sukadeva Goswami is continuously offering prayers, whatever you saw before also, Pulindra, Pulkasha. So everybody can understand Supreme Personality of Godhead is not discriminating based on caste, creed, religion, gender, whether they are educated, not educated, good looking, not good looking, poor or rich, whether they are born in Vedic families or not, whether he has manpower, money, this, that, relationship, friendship, nothing. Nothing is seen by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But one thing is seen by the Supreme Personality of Godhead is mentioned here. In the previous verse, if you see, no qualification of birth, no qualification of religion, nothing is considered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in showering his mercy. But here, very important point is given that he is Super Soul and Supreme Lord. Why this is specifically mentioned here is, the Lord is situated within the heart. And if you are duplicitous, that will be known by the Lord. We can be posed with others, we can handle things with others in various diplomatic ways, psychologically manipulate. But that is not possible with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as he is situated within the heart, and by his sanction, our hands and legs moves. So our intentions are very clearly known, and we are inside, outside known to the Supreme Lord. And it is not a threat, but it is a gift. How? Suhridam sarva bhutanam nyatva mam shantim ruchati. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that Suhridam sarva bhutanam, I am the friend of all living entities. I am the best friend who has accepted the living entity with all their positives and negatives. I hug them, I keep them, and I nourish them. I love them, but they don't love me, of course. So now Srila Prabhupada and Acharya Parampara's big project is nothing but to make us turn towards him and make us love him. This is the great project they are working on, the internal transformation of turning our love towards the Supreme Lord, who is the best friend, and we have to accept him as best friend and be transparent with him, at least minimum. Of course, with the Acharya, of course, with Guru, we should be non-pretentious. So these are very, very important in this material world when we are executing Krishna consciousness. Why? Because he's super soul. Okay, fine. He's a super soul of all living entities, including non-devotees. And the second is, he's the Supreme Lord of all self-realized souls. So you have self-realized souls who may be devotees, who may be yogis, who may be jnanis. To him also, to them also, he is the Supreme Lord. And he's the personification of Vedas. He's the book also, religious scriptures and austerities. If anybody is reading the Vedas and claiming themselves to be jnani, they are reading religious scriptures and practicing various aspects of karma kanda sessions by performing various sambradayas and religious principles for them also. And he is also the Lord of all the austerities and tapasyas which are done by yogis. This Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Krishna, and Srimati Radharani, internal potency, together as Gauranga, this personality of Godhead, he is worshipped by Lord Brahma and Shiva. Brahma bole chaturmukhe, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Mahadeva Panjamukhe, Rama Rama Hare Hare. So, if you see Lord Brahma anywhere, you can see an authorized representative. Now modern arts have come. I'm not talking about the modern arts, but in old temples and other carvings and scriptures and proper authoritative Brahma figuratives, wherever you will see he is holding a japamala in his hand. And Shiva, of course, with the half-closed eye, you can see some Shiva doing tapasya. Tapasya means he's meditating on somebody. And you can see a Rudraksha bead. He also has counting beads in his hand and he's counting. This is chanting. Chanting should be counted. If you're serious about anything, it has to be counted. If you say that, no, in Hava, I'm just chanting in the air and I'm not counting in mind, I'm always chanting. Anybody who says that, they are the cheater. You can say that how much your company needs to pay. If your HR manager is asking, you say, Hava mein pay kar do, kitna bhi chahiye, utna de do, how much ever you want, you give. You are not going to say that. You're going to say you want a number, right? If you're serious about something, you have a number. If you don't have a number, you're not serious about it. So Brahma is counting in the beads and Shiva is counting in the beads and they're chanting Brahma bole chaturmukhe Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Mahadeva Panchamukhe Rama Rama Hare Hare. Such great personalities. They are chanting Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Why not us? And those who are transcendental to all pretensions. So there must be no pretensions. This is very, very essential. And such Sarala Mana, such Sarala person, Lord Chaitanya embraces. Lord Chaitanya accepts. They are called Nijaganas. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and many people will accept Krishna. When we see the definition of Krishna, Akarshana iti Krishna, and Krishna is claimed in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Uvacha. Whenever Krishna is speaking, he is mentioned as Bhagavan. Bhagavan means Bhaga. He possesses all 6 opulences. Why not people surrender? They will surrender. If they will even surrender to a person who is having little wealth, they are having little beauty, little fame, people surrender. Like, subscribe and share. It's happening all over with seeing little opulence. Little strength, little intelligence, little fame. But a person who possesses unlimited intelligence, unlimited fame, unlimited beauty, Krishna, all attractive, why not they surrender? They will surrender. So, but there may be pretentious surrenders, pretentious dealings, because they are surrendering because of they require something from the all-opulent Supreme Bhagavan. But Nijagana is the one, even that Supreme Personality of Godhead comes with nothing. He walks as a sannyasi in the street. Still I surrender. That is a surrender without pretension. So one who surrenders to the Supreme Lord Gauranga, who came as Lord Chaitanya, who's Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahiyanya, he didn't exhibit his opulence of strength. He didn't exhibit his opulence of wealth. He didn't exhibit his opulence of fame. He exhibited the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Mercy personified. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratviche Namaha. Without any duplicity, diplomacy, transforming the heart of the living entity. He came very simply in the street because Krishna even taught some diplomatic moves in the Kurukshetra war to Arjuna. But he never did it with any living entity. And the previous verse which mentions that even enemies, they became lovers of when they met Lord Chaitanya. The Kamsa in Krishna Leela was killed and he came as Chandkasi. And he just became attracted by that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Gauranga, and surrendered. Jagai Madai, who were Jaya and Vijaya, who came as Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyakshaka, when they saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself, when he came as Lord Chaitanya, they surrendered with great love and affection. And the 24 hours tears were flowing from their eyes. This Nijagana, so they are called Nijagana. Nijagana means the true personalities with the true intentions, true behavior, true dealings. This is very attractive. This Lord Chaitanya appreciates. So here, Sukadeva Goswami specifically mentions, and Prabhupada highlights this portion, even though there are other things like Super Soul, Supreme, and all these are there. But here, Prabhupada highlights in the entire purport, Brahma and Shiva are without any pretensions. They, even though they are in great positions as the creator of the universe and the destroyer of the universe, they worship that Supreme Personality of Godhead without any pretension. The same way as devotees, we should develop this attitude of worshipping the Supreme Lord without any pretensions and dealing as simple Sarala devotees. So being so revered with awe and veneration, may that Supreme Lord should be pleased for us to know everything. Knowing knowledge is not coming from the book or our intelligence. And evidence quoting from various scientific, so-called scientific facts of the world. No, it is revealed by the Supreme. Jnana Deepena Bhashvata. Every day we are singing Guru Ashtakam, in which Prema Bhakti Jahan Hoite, Avidya Vinasha Jaite. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. So that Divya Gyan, you know Krishna, you know everything. If you know Krishna, you know everything. Vedaischa sarvair hame vivedya. So Ishopanishad, the first line Prabhupada is writing, Veda means knowledge. So, but Krishna is Vedaischa sarvaira. For all the Vedas I am to be known, I am the compiler of the Veda. And after reading all the Vedas, Bhakti Veda Anta. Veda Anta is nothing but, the end of Veda is nothing but to know Krishna. And if you know Krishna, you know everything. And that is the knowledge. Material world, spiritual world, Krishna's internal potency, which is Srimati Radharani, and the spiritual world. Marginal potency, which is Jivas, how they are in the liberated position, how they are in the conditioned position, and how the material nature conditions, how the external energy functions. Everything put together, the Ishvara's energies, everything will be known when we know Lord Chaitanya, when we know Krishna, we know everything. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. So if you see Srila Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj, Gaurakishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he is illiterate. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he is the most illiterate of that time. He surrendered, and to Gaurakishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he begged initiation. He said, I leave my life if you don't give initiation. All the knowledge is certainly involved in Krishna consciousness. But the methodology of getting knowledge is Divya Gyan. The Divya Gyan come from Acharya Parampara and from the Supreme Lord within the heart, who is pleased with that particular devotee, reveals, chak, everything will be revealed. Such knowledge is uncomparable, undefeatable. Not just information propagation. Oh, I know this fasting. Okay, Mataji, you need not tell. I know. Oh, you know? I know. You know? This I know, you know, comes from intelligence platform, and intelligence belongs to subtle body, and that belongs to body. How will you know spiritual information, which is transcendental, which belongs to the spirit soul, by a material sense? Ata Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyaha. With indriya, with material senses, you cannot perceive Krishna, his name, his form, his qualities, his pastimes. It's impossible to conceive. It's impossible to understand these things. So through our intelligence, which is mind, ego, and intelligence, belongs to subtle body. Earth, water, fire, air, ether belongs to the gross body. Both belongs to the body. With a bodily instrument, which is made of matter, you cannot perceive the transcendental spiritual Goloka Vrindavana and Krishna and his associates. This is impossible to perceive. By great mercy of the spiritual master, it is possible to perceive everything. By the great mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is mercy personified, Gauranitai, it is possible to perceive everything. So here, Prabhupada is mentioning about how one should be non-pretentious, how important it is. The Supreme Lord, the Personality of Godhead, although the Lord of... So who is pretentious? That is also is mentioning. Who is pretending? The pretension is nothing but having a personal desire for oneself is called pretension. So mainly that is practiced by the kamis. Kama means desire. So we have some kama. Bhukti kami means desire for enjoyment. Bhukti means enjoyment. Buddhikami, Bhuktikami, Siddhikami. I want material perfection. I want to walk on water. I want to understand others' mind. This, that, and I want. This I want is many types. That I want is equal to Kama. I want Krishna is equal to Prema. Huh? This is, I want to serve Krishna. I can say rather, I want Krishna. How can we possess? We envied him. How can we possess him? I want seva. We can say, I want seva to Krishna is equal to Prema. All those things comes under Kama category. So here, the Kama category, maybe we all know one Kama category that I want for my sense enjoyment, I want this, I want that, I want, is certainly Bhukti Kami. Bhukti means desire for sense enjoyment. But you don't know other types of Kama, which are even more dangerous. So here, empiric philosophers, the philosopher, Jnana, the one who desires to have a lot of knowledge. I know that sloka, I know this sloka, I know Sanskrit, I know, this I know is again dangerous. So this is called as philosophers. Understand, having a lot of knowledge and philosophical. Of course, we have philosophy in Krishna consciousness. And that philosophy is purely to know Krishna, to understand Krishna and to serve Krishna. It is motivated towards only that. That knowledge is pure. Prabhupada, whatever he is giving in his books are all pure. And that is all bhakti. That is not just Veda. That is Veda Anta. The end of Veda, the conclusion of Veda or summary of Veda is what we are learning. So the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, these things are not simply philosophy. Philosophy is also a byproduct of bhakti. And no philosopher can defeat that knowledge which comes from that devotion. So here, who are all called pretentious is one who wants, so here is knowable, the Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead, Lord of all. So here, the Lord of all followers of different realization is knowable only by those who are above all pretensions. Lord can be known only when you are above all pretensions. Everyone is searching after eternal peace and eternal life. Everybody wants it, and they go through many yogic processes. So here you see karmis, jnanis, yogis, or these are the four people who are trying to achieve path of self-realization. I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul. What is my real position as a spirit soul? What should I do as a spirit soul? How should I walk? How should I talk? I'm not this body, but I'm doing every bodily activity. I'm becoming expert every day, and I'm proud about that expertise of a wrong understanding identity. Many people are very, very proud about being expert in dealing with the material world, because they are expert in wrong identity thing. Already identity crisis is going on. So in that, and they're proud also about it. But here, if you know the real identity and perform, you will lose all the proudness. You'll become the most humble, because most humble is not by pretentious humility, by bending your shoulders down and bowing down to everybody. But the real humility is understanding Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I am an insignificant conditioned soul who envied the Supreme Lord and wandering in this material world, being puffed up for nothing. That is real humility. Real humility is knowing by the supremacy of the Supreme Lord and the purity of the pure devotees. Exactly identifying the spiritual subject matter as it is, automatically humility comes. Not claiming name, fame, glory, position, nothing. That is humility. Pratishta, no pratishta. Not establishing oneself as a great personality in any crowd. There are many personalities in Lord Chaitanya's pastime like that. When we see, if you want to see those examples, you should see only in Lord Chaitanya's devotees. Each personality is exclusively pure devotee, exclusively qualified to be followed, exclusively qualified to be taken as an example, taken as following their footprints. Every devotee of Lord Chaitanya. So the karmis were much attracted by fruitive activities of Vedic rituals. They do so many. Oh, my family is very religious. My family follow this tapasya, this homa, this austerity, this puja, many pujas. So all these are bhukti kamis. Why they do it? They either to go to heavenly planetary system or to enjoy more the punya karma. So they are called bhukti kamis. Any methodology of trying to enjoy material world is called bhukti kami, either through religious principle or without the religious principle. Some people directly try to enjoy by getting cheating people or stealing. They also want material enjoyment. And the person who goes the righteous path of giving dana, dharma and trying to become Indra, here also bhukti kami. Both are interested in material enjoyment. And the second, jnanis, try to become one with the Supreme by mental speculation, are called mukti kamis. They want mukti. I want mukti. I want to go back. I want to go to Goloka, or I want not Goloka. Of course, one should not desire, I want to go to Goloka. One should desire, I want to serve Krishna. In that manner, Krishna will desire to take you back to Goloka. So the Krishna conscious practices should not be done as a visa sealing process to go just escape the material world is very dukkha, yaar. If I go to my spiritual world, I'll be enjoying. So whether there is Krishna, not Krishna, I don't care. If there are 4 cows, I will be there and take the milk and enjoy. All the cows are Kamadhenu. Not like that. I want to enjoy Goloka. Like I want to go to America. Many people have a life's aim. I want to go to US. I want to get a green card. Prabhupada is the only person who went to give something. So in this way, the desiring to get mukti or liberation from the material bondage, that is also a personal desire only. Whereas Acharyas like Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing, even if I take many births, doesn't matter if I enter into another womb, doesn't matter. I deserve it because I envied you, Krishna. I hated you. I didn't want to give anything to you. I don't want to serve you. Such a nasty life. How can I demand to take me back? Even if you put me, it's up to you to do whatever you are. Marobi Rakobi, Joicha Tohara, Nityadasa Pradituva Adhikara. You have the right on me. But only one thing I desire, the association of pure devotees, wherever I am born. Wherever, even if I am born in the stool, still I want association with the pure devotee. Wherever I am, I have to have association with devotees. This is the only desire. Devotee means pure devotee is requesting. Why we are insisting on pure devotion is because sometimes devotion may be mixed devotion. That's called Shuddha Bhakti and Mishra Bhakti. So when you say milk is pure, when you don't mix anything, neither to enhance it or to dilute it. You mix water, it will get diluted. You mix poison, it becomes poisonous. Of course, that is to take it in a negative way. But in thinking, I'm taking it in a positive way. Adding boost, adding some other, I'm adding some rose water. I'm adding, then there is no more pure milk. It is pure milk means not adding anything is pure. So bhakti is pure because only bhakti, kevala bhakti, only bhakti. It's simple. Simplicity is Vaishnavism. To understand pure devotion, pure, people just exaggerate it. So there is nothing to exaggerate. You don't exaggerate, you don't underestimate, you practice as it is. Just show the lamp to Krishna out of affection. That's all. Simple. So as simple you keep the devotion, the purer it is. That's all. What is devotion? It is not so complex. So when you make it complex, you are making the purity into impure. That is all. The mystic yogi who practice different kind of austerities for attainment of 8 kind of perfections. So sometimes there is a desire for perfection. So that's called siddhikami. So whenever there is any desire, personally, other than loving Krishna, affectionately giving anything to Krishna, affectionately chanting, because I love my Guru gave this mantra, I'm chanting affectionately. That's all. What other reason you are chanting? Yeah, chanting gives many benefits. For preaching, we say all kind of benefits which is given by chanting. Yes, of course we say. But also it is mentioned, one should not instruct the glories of the holy name of a faithless to a faithless person also. So just request them to chant. That's it. Chanting I'm just doing because I love my Guru Maharaj. I love Krishna. So I'm doing. That's it. No other very complicated reasons. So who will give complicated reason is a siddhikami, bhuktikami or muktikami. will give very complicated, will have a complicated motivational factor for performing devotional service. Very simple factor, yaar. You're not the body, you're spirit, soul. Okay, my identity is I am an employee of some company. I'm not the, I am contracted into another company. So I should not misidentify. I should identify with my original company. I should perform as an employee. So I'm not the body, I'm spirit soul. Okay, what is the duty of the spirit soul? Jivera Sorupa Hoi, Krishnera Nityadas. Oh, I'm Krishna's dasa. Okay, fine. I'll perform that activities. Then we start performing devotional service because that is me. That is my constitutional position. That is my only duty. But right now I'm having the body. I'm having a car. So I have to give the car for service. I have to put petrol. I have to maintain the car because it belongs to me. So the body is my possession. It is my car I'm having. I'm not going to throw it because we are seeing in Bhagavad Gita, Yukta Ahara Viharasya. I use everything for Krishna because I love Krishna. I have this vehicle. I'll use it for Krishna. If you have a car or a two-wheeler, you'll take it and go to temple. Right? Same way, taking this body, I'm doing all the activities related to Krishna consciousness. That's all. It's Nishkami. So here, Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Kami, Sakale, Ashanta. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama, Atayeva Shanta. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama. He doesn't have any personal desire. So, he Atayeva Shanta. So, this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Madhya Leela mentioned, Lord Chaitanya with this lotus mouth is telling, Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Kami, Sakale Ashanta. They don't have any peace. Bhukti, the one who desires material desire. Mukti, one who desires liberation. Many kinds of liberation are there. 6 kinds of liberation are there. 5 kinds of liberation are there. Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi. I want this, walk on water. I want more memory. I want this, that. Whatever Siddhi, Kami, Sakale Ashanta. But Krishna Bhakta, Nishkama, he has so many desires. Actually, devotee has the most desire. Because he can unlimitedly serve the Supreme Lord. All his desire is for Krishna. And to serve Krishna, Guru. So unlimitedly we can do service. You go to temple, they'll give you unlimited service. At one point of time, you'll start complaining, so much service, I'm not able to do my sadhana. And of course, doing sadhana, chanting. So Guru Maharaj is giving very clear understanding of what is service. Dasya is one of the service, but it starts with Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedam. So without chanting and hearing, even Dasyam is not powerful. So even if you're doing so many services in the temple or any other place, first Shravanam and Kirtanam is priority number 1. Unless you do that, then gradually Dasya, the service, will become work. So we should be very, very careful that we are doing Sravanam and Kirtanam and then Smaranam, remembering the Supreme Lord. Then you do the other, gradually you do the next and next and next. Don't take so many responsibilities and so many service before you mature. And then later you see it as a service and it will become offensive. So you should be very, very careful that every day are you hearing or you chanting. Your chanting of 16 rounds, clear rounds of chanting, 16 rounds has to happen. Hearing of Krishna Katha, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada's books, reading, compulsory. Arati, whether you are doing or not, doesn't matter. One day you just skip, it is okay, no problem. One day you don't go to temple, Sunday feast, you don't go, no problem. No problem at all. But if you don't do this, these are like breathing, Sravanam and Kirtan. When you do that, then your material desire will go away and desire for serving Krishna. So what is the meaning of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? We are chanting Hare Krishna, my dear internal potency, my dear mother, Hare, Mother Hara. We are requesting, Prabhupada has given a very clear understanding of what is Hare Krishna Mantra. Mother Hara, we are requesting him to engage us in the service of the Father Krishna. So in this way, non-pretension is very, very essential. If you have personal desire for anything, then that is considered to be pretentious. Even in devotional service, we should be very, very careful to avoid this pretentious. So the best examples given here is Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. They don't pose, they don't feel shameful to say that they are devotees. They are wearing tilak always. We were working in IBM. Earlier, when we started our profession, before that, we were working with a company which is a partner of the IBM. So in all the companies we have faced when we start wearing tilak and go. So some companies, they just leave us as we are. As somebody is having a tattoo, nobody can question them. Nowadays, everybody is having a tattoo. A company cannot question. But there are some companies which have their own policies. So one time we received a mail that generally, not specifically mentioning us, any religious symptom or religious thing should not be, one should not be wearing like this. So we were new employees, and we both became scared, because it is very difficult we both wanted in the same company, and also that we can take leave together, go, and many facilities are there. So we wanted it like that, and we have tried to switch over like that, due to which we need to compromise on some things. So we only one day we didn't wear tilak, actually, because we came and asked the authorities in the temple. So they said that you can put the water tilak. Why you don't show like that in your office and all? So you put a water tilak and go, and then water, you put all the 12 places tilak, and when you come in the evening, you can wear the tilak like that. So we continuously for 2 or 3 years, we have properly worn tilak only. And that is the first day we are removing the tilak, we are putting in the water, and we went. Of course, water will wash the face and we will be tired and this and that, whatever. But we had a very, very bad, insecure experience. In 2 days, I think we both did it. And immediately we both gave a feedback to each other. No, wearing a tilak is certainly different. And from that time till today, in whichever MNC, wherever we go, except Gulf countries, everywhere we have worn tilak. Prabhu went to Singapore, went to Philippines, went to many prominent clients of IBM. He has always worn tilak. And after 5 or 10 minutes, even if some other religious people have an attitude on us, in 5 or 10 minutes, that attitude had gone. And they have become friendly. This is Lord's mercy. This is the lotus feet dust of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whom they bow down as Allah, whom they go to the church and worship as the God. And the same God is Lord Chaitanya, Lord, same God is Krishna. First, we should understand it properly. We should have belief and faith on it. And we have had a very, very positive experience throughout, even though if 1 or 2, very rarely we have experience in which some people showed attitude towards us, but we, of course, benefited them by reminding them of the Supreme Lord. And after a little mixing with us, they have understood. So the one time in Guru Maharaj, I will finish with this. One time in Guru Maharaj's class, it came very beautiful pastime of Lord Chaitanya, where Brahma is there and Shiva is there, and they both are chanting Hare Krishna, and they both are desiring that everybody should not address us as Brahma and Shiva, but as Krishna Bhakta. So our identity should be Krishna Bhakta, like that. Very beautiful verses, where Shiva is, Brahma is considered to be creator of the universe, even Hiranyakashipu and all worshipping. All the topmost leaders of the universe worship Brahma for anything sanctioned. They want a planet. They can get an entire planet if Brahma sanctions. So he just owns everything. He just gives the Manu, he gives the Bhuloka. Like that, he prays that the Bhumi is under the water, then Varahadeva appears. In this way, Brahma is considered to be the most powerful person. But he is telling, I don't want people to call me as creator of the universe. This. He has many names. He has also Ashtottara Satam. He has 108 names, 1008 names. But he is not pleased when people do Archana with that and all. But if they call him as Krishna Bhakta, Gaura Bhakta, he is very happy. Very happy. He is looking for such identity of himself. And same way, Shiva also is looking that he has to Vaishnavanam Yata Sambhu. Oh, Sambho, you are topmost of all Vaishnava. So when we call us Vaishnava, the word Vaishnava, they are very happy. Very, very happy. So this is mentioned, 2 or 3 verses came, so beautiful verses, where Lord Chaitanya is revealing the truth about Lord Brahma and Shiva. Here they are mentioned as non-pretentious, because they don't want to hide their identity. Like when somebody is working in a large company or a big office or an organization, they want to hang that identity card and they want to introduce themselves, not with proudness, but with truth only. It is just truth. We are not artificially posing. But the truth, same way, the identifying oneself as a devotee of Krishna is considered to be the topmost designation, and one should carry it proudly and without any hesitation should present, like Prahlad Maharaj. He can be little pretentious and diplomatic with his father, get the kingdom, and after getting the kingdom, he could have preached Krishna consciousness. But he didn't compromise on showing his identity, and he didn't feel ashamed to show his identity. I am devotee of Krishna. So this is very, very essential as devotees to be non-pretentious and stay as devotees and desire deep-heartedly, I want to somehow become pure devotee. This desire should be there. In this way, we can please the Supreme Lord, and Supreme Lord will reveal everything. So here, he is, the Sukadeva Goswami is praying like that, and he is asking for this boon. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments? Om Tat Sat. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Guru Maharaj ki jai.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you very much for the association. We'll resume our class on Monday, sharp at 8 o'clock. Till then, Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
When there are no questions in Prabhu's class also, at least one question should come from one person. So maybe you can take turns or whatever it is. It will encourage, or it is like one-sided radio. This can be put as a recorded session and given to you in WhatsApp. But when there is a Zoom and when there is a class, we will really appreciate if there is any simple question, which you can put forth, which will benefit everybody. That will be very appreciative from your side. That is the gift which we are getting for the classes. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vaishnav Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patithanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari 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 Hari.